What's up? Oh Lord. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? My hair look a mess, child. How you guys doing? Happy Tuesday. Hey Ravine, what's up, boo? Just when your day was dragging. Well, I'm glad I'm here. Just left Markel live. I'm in a train and not paying attention to nothing this lady talking about. Lord. I saw he was live. Give me the cliff notes, child. Text me the cliff notes. What's up, Candy Love? You enjoyed your trip? Yes, we had a great time. I'm gonna do a live about it at some point this week. But yeah, we had a good time. So I'm here to talk about Traitors. And let me tell you something. Before I even get into this, I'm gonna just tell you now that I probably have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to this last episode of Traitors. And I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm a little confusion. So y'all know I didn't get a chance to watch the episode last Thursday. What up, Cheryl? Hey, boo. Hey, sweet pea. Because, I was traveling and things of that nature. But everybody kept talking about how great this episode was. And oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And even though I didn't get an actual spoiler, I knew that Candace clearly got banished, right? I could tell by the way my social media timeline was going that's what happened. So I'm waiting to see what happened that was so epic. I mean, everybody was like, Candace was epic and she was such a queen and Candace did that. And I'm thinking to myself, it couldn't have been that epic when her ass was the one that got banished. So last night I watched the episode. I'm missing something. So for all you Traitors fans that were telling me that Candace did that, I missed it because all I see is Rob. And Rob is playing a hell of a game and Rob deserves to win. Rob is playing the hell out of this game. And I don't see where Candace did that. I told y'all last week. No, Cheryl, I ain't saying you said it. I'm just saying this is what people were saying. Last week, I told y'all last week that Candace made the mistake by voting for Rob. In her mind, she was throwing a hint. No, what you were doing was putting a target on yourself. Because once you realized that Lisa didn't have the votes, that Lisa was going to get banished, and if you knew you couldn't vote for Lisa, you had the perfect alternative vote in Natalie. The vote was pretty much split between Lisa and Natalie. I think the other housewives lady, I think she threw a vote at somebody else, but you literally had a perfect out. Vote for Natalie. Lisa's going to get, at that point, Lisa is going to get banished. You see the writing on the wall. You know you can't save her. And trying to throw a hint in Rob's direction, it was too soon because nobody was saying Rob's name. You had to lay some foundation before you could throw a hint in that direction, in my opinion. So this week, we come back. Well, Alan gives them the option of recruiting a traitor or killing somebody. They didn't want to recruit a traitor, which that I respect because I understood. Now, Candace was right about that. Like, look, I don't want to recruit somebody and take a chance that Rob has already, aligned with them, and then I'm setting myself up. But what that also tells me, Candace, is you're not playing a good enough social game. Because one, the fact that you feel like Rob has better relationships outside of the traitor circle than you do tells me that you didn't work hard enough on your social game. And two, you weren't paying enough attention to know who Rob had built relationships with outside of Carlton. You did not know. Now, Rob did set you up a little bit by not telling you that your name was in Carlton's mouth and letting you kill Carlton. However, in my opinion, you still shouldn't have killed Carlton. You know why? Because it looked like a petty revenge killing. Oh, you got Lisa, we're going to get you. I definitely would not have killed Carlton. Just off the strength of you know his standing in the house, whether it was Rob or not. We don't have to like Colton on the outside because we know what Colton is. But from a game perspective, that was not a good move. It was actually a really good move. I don't think it should have been that other guy that Lisa gave the gold to, because he would have been a good scapegoat to hide behind, because why would Lisa give him her gold? I really feel like you should have killed the guy with the glasses, the K-pop guy. I really think he should have been the one. Right. You only have one winner if you're a traitor, which is why I said I'm going to get to how Candace should have played it, in my opinion. So he let you kill off Colton, knowing it would swing back at you. So again, girl, he lined you up real nice. Real nice. What you should have done when y'all got in the castle, what you should have done was said, why didn't you tell me so we could have voted together, and you threw me off? See, I would have played it off like I wasn't really mad at him. I'd have been like, girl, well, not girl, but I'd have been like, why you didn't just tell me? Because I was a little taken aback. I didn't realize Lisa didn't have the votes. So why you just didn't tell me Lisa didn't have the votes, and I would have played it different. See, I would have made Rob think we were still good while laying the foundation. You see what I'm saying? But what you did was you let him know you were mad. And he basically was like, oh, well, I was going to probably work with Candace for at least another go round. But now I see what I got to do. You sealed your fate when you won the vote. And two, you came up in there with an attitude. And he was like, Candace, it's just a game. Like, it's a game, girl. Like, it's a game. And when he saw that you were mad and you weren't going to let that shit go, that's it. So all of that Candace didn't do anything. Everything that Candace did was a blunder, and it put more focus on her. Everything she tried to do put more focus on her, in my opinion. You know what, Nori? That's exactly what she should have done. She should have played up, there must be a man in the turret. Because we've gotten 3 traitors, and all 3 of those traitors are women. They had to have a man. That would have taken a lot of the focus off of her right there. If you start floating around, well, it's got to be a man. It's got to be a man. It's got to be a man. What do you mean? It's got to be a man. You didn't even have to say Rob's name in the beginning. You could have just floated the idea that it's a man. There was still suspicion on old boy that Lisa gave the gold to going back to the banquet, because remember, he was the one handing out the meat, and he was the one that talked about the cards. Because they still don't know why Jam, I mean, they know Lisa was a traitor. Well, I guess that's true, because they did find out Lisa was a traitor, so it didn't really matter. So they come back so they end up killing Colton, which again, I felt was stupid. It was good play on Rob's part to make it seem like he was doing her a favor, like, well, I know you're mad at me, so this is all on you. And he did a really good job of not fighting too hard. When she first said Colton's name, he was like, well, Colton is my closest ally. I really don't want to kill him. And then they went through the other 2 people, and then she came back around to Colton, and he was like, I mean, if that's what you want to do. He did a really good job of not fighting too hard. He said, look, that's I'm ally, I'm aligned with him, but ultimately it's on you. If you want to kill him, I'll go along with whatever you want. That's my peace offering to you. Baby, Rob played the hell out of her. And Candace could not stop being angry long enough to get back in the game, because then it was all about getting revenge on Rob instead of figuring out, okay, as a traitor, it's only 2 of us left. What do I need to do to line Rob up? You were 2. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, Rob still has the dagger. But to be fair, she probably could have found out that Rob had the dagger. Nobody's asking. Why? And if they are, they're not showing us those conversations. I understand that the people made a pact, But these shit don't. Y'all know how this goes. They make these packs and they don't last. Why isn't anybody trying to figure out who has the damn dagger? You know what I mean? Why isn't anybody saying, look, y'all were the only ones out there. Natalie, girl, who got that damn dagger? Like, nobody's asking. They know Colton was one of the people out there. So obviously Colton, you know, they were like, because now I'd be wondering, well, did Colton die with the dagger? Like, because they didn't know until the round table that the dagger was still in play. So it's like, why isn't anybody trying to figure that out? Because that's a really big advantage that somebody has. I don't know why they're not asking. Rob is baby Rob. If Rob loses this game, it's because he fumbled. Because baby Rob got this game sewn up. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the last 3 episodes play out. But Rob absolutely has this game sewn up. And if I'm being honest, Candace should have came. First of all, I wouldn't have killed Colton. But okay, Candace comes out of the turret. She should have been one. She should have been talking up the angle of a man. And 2, she should have been focused more on the group. Who has the dagger? Why isn't anybody talking about the dagger? But she, in my opinion, she messed up with that vote. Because the reality is, we've talked about this with Traitors, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to raise the suspicion. It doesn't take much for people to start questioning every little thing that you do. You had absolutely no reason to vote for Rob. She was like, it was a throwaway vote. But why? On Rob, why? And then the next day, you lied and said it was a throwaway vote, but now you want everybody to vote Rob out. So now I'm thinking it's not a throwaway vote. You do want Rob out, and the question now becomes, why? Why do you want Rob out? See, Candace, and that was the smartest thing that Surrey did the first season when she voted against the traitor, when she saw the writing on the wall. She saw how that vote was going. She heard the conversation at the round table. And when it was time to vote and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she voted for the traitor. What choice did she have? It would have put a target on her. Candace, you didn't go back and watch the first season, the first celebrity season? Because if you had watched the first celebrity season, Sari gave you the roadmap. She gave you the roadmap. There was no reason in the world why you should have voted for Rob. And then you can't let Rob know how mad you are. Play it up. You ain't really mad. Then they get to the challenge, and we're gonna split up into teams. One team has the option. I mean, there's gonna be you know what I'm saying, a medallion, a shield. One group is going to have an option to get in the shield. The other group isn't. And here go Candace. Well, I think it should be. Candace, you should have been trying to get that damn shield. You should have did the same thing Rob said. Well, I haven't had a shield yet. I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I really think I should. I really want to be on that team. I really want to try and get a shield. Girl, that's what you should have been doing. You so worried about Rob, and what Rob is doing, you wasn't worried about your own game. You got to put Rob to the side. You have to handle Rob on the back end. You should have been like, I haven't had a shield yet. I really want to try to get that shield. But you let Rob do it. And by you throwing somebody else's name in the mix, it once again, when they were going back and thinking about everybody and the moves they were making, it put another target on you. But he did a throwaway vote. He did the same thing to Lisa, but no one noticed that. I would have said that if I was her. But when he did the throwaway vote on Lisa, Lisa's name was already on the board. She just didn't have a lot of votes. Colton had already put Lisa's name out there when he did it. Remember? Lisa's name was already out there. She got a couple of votes that night. You're right. He said it was a throwaway vote, but Lisa's name was in the conversation. Rob's name never came up. At least not the version we saw. It's not about the shield helping her, El Michelle. It's not that we know the shield wouldn't have helped her. What I'm saying is it would have taken suspicion off of her had she been trying to get the shield. The fact that, again, it doesn't take much. It's these little things that people think about. You didn't try to get a shield. Why? Because you don't need one, because you're a traitor. If Candace had said, look, y'all, I really want to try and get a shield, it would have at least made it look like she was trying to get it. I know the shield doesn't help her. But what I'm saying is, if you're a traitor, you have to play like you're not a traitor, which means you do need a shield, which means you do want to try and get a shield. Lisa's name had been out there for Lisa's name had already been out there when he voted for Lisa. So it didn't stand out. Candace, nobody else at that table voted for Rob. Not one person. And nowhere in that roundtable conversation that we saw, and I know we get an edited version, but nowhere in that conversation did we hear Rob's name. Where did the vote for Rob come from? Rob's name never came up. And if you didn't want to vote for Lisa, that's fine. Vote for Natalie. Natalie had a lot of votes. Vote for Natalie. But don't open up a new name. Nobody brought his name up. And now you've allowed Rob to you have allowed Rob's social game to out-social your game. So you saw where the chef was like, oh, well, I know it's not Rob. We know Rob is too sweet for that. It would never be Rob. Baby, Rob is playing the hell out of this game. I'm sorry. All them people that act like Candace did something, and Candace didn't do shit. I told y'all from the beginning, I felt like Candace was overplaying. I said from the beginning, I felt like Candace was doing too much. That whole thing with Portia. Girl, you didn't have to put yourself in that. I mean, I get it. She's a housewife and everything, but you ain't have to put yourself in that. That was unnecessary, in my opinion. Hey, everybody coming in. What's up, Quake? Hey, Crystal. Tawanda. Hey, girl. What's up, Tawanda Boo? Hey, DB. What's up, Quintessential? I think I already said that. Hey, girl. But, and again, I know being there is a different vantage point from us on the outside. I got it. I understand that. But I honestly felt like Candace was overplaying from the beginning. I think she got away with it as long as she did because of the Michael Rappaports, because Lisa was doing a lot too. Like, you got away with it because they were distractions. But to be perfectly honest, Candace, in my opinion, did not play a good game. And then, like I said, in my opinion, the first nail in her coffin was that vote. But then killing Colton. But ultimately, I just don't think Candace built up enough of a social game. Of course, she was cool with Tara and with Johnny, right? But outside of the two of them, I don't see where she built a lot of alliances. I just don't. Right? She should have gone into the turret and been like, why didn't you give me a heads up? So, like, she should have made it seem like she wasn't mad at him for turning on Lisa, but she was just taken off guard. Like, I wasn't in on the plan and I wouldn't have voted. I would have known, because the other thing too was how hard she was fighting for Lisa. Honestly, sometimes, y'all, what do they tell you when you get on the plane? What do they tell y'all when you get on the plane? They say, what? Put the oxygen mask over your face first before you try to help anybody else. Once Candace, at a certain point, you had to realize you could not save her. You could not save Lisa. Once the writing was on the wall that Lisa's name was just so deep, so deep, so deep, you at a certain point had to stop trying to defend her. Because that also made people be like, that's what Colton said. Colton was like, who was out here defending Lisa the most? Candace. And yeah, you could say it was a housewife thing. I think that housewife thing only lasts long enough. So long. Well, that's what Rob tried to tell her. Yeah, she was worried about loyalty, but baby, that's what Rob was telling her. Girl, it's a game. Like, none of this means anything. It's not that deep. It's just like the people that play Big Brother and the people that play, like, at the end of the day, it is a game. And the object of the game is to win. And if you've watched Traitors, if you've done any research into Traitors, then you know that at the end, only one traitor can walk away with the money. Like, at some point, the traitors are going to have to turn on each other. So you should have been building up your foundation while you were playing with the traitors. Like, you had to know how this was going to go. And once you saw the writing on the wall with Lisa, baby, you should have cut bait, in my opinion. And that's what Rob did. When Rob saw how that vote was going, that first vote when Lisa didn't get voted out, that's Candace. That should have been your clue what you needed to do. You knew then, oh, I see what Rob is doing. Okay, cool. You should have known then. And you also should have known that because Lisa's name was, because she got so many votes the first time, even though she didn't get banished, but because she got so many votes and the person that they banished wasn't a traitor, you had to know Lisa's name was, it wasn't that they were going to stop bringing up Lisa's name. They're going to keep bringing her name up. And now they're going to hyper focus on everything she does. Baby, that was your time to cut bait. I thought two traitors could win together. Yeah, but, well, you know what? You're right. Maybe two traitors can win together, but I think they have to agree to do something. At the end, when they put the thing in the fire and all that, it's that whole process. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember all of the details of that process because I haven't looked at all of the outside seasons of Traitors. So, like, for the people who've watched all of the different seasons, you probably remember more specifically. But what I do know is it comes down to that at the end. So, in my opinion, Candace, you should have been laying your foundation when you saw Rob vote for Lisa the first time. I don't understand why you were caught off guard. Like, what did you think was going to happen? You thought he wasn't going to do it again? Once he put Lisa's name out there, you should have known. That's it. That's a wrap. People don't look at Rob as a gamer, but he was on Love Island, and that's a game with challenges, strategy, and cash prize. His currency was his looks, and he's using that to get far here. Candace wasn't playing like she needed to check. Rob is playing like he needs that check. He's a lot more strategic. However, he does have being a good-looking white boy on his side. That's true, too. That he does. And at the end of the day, I honestly think, in my opinion, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to he's doing a really good job of being that unassuming white boy. And he's not playing dumb like dumb, but he's definitely playing, he's not playing as smart as I think he is. He's definitely not playing as smart as I think he is. And in my opinion, Rob has been playing chess since day one. Whereas Lisa and Candace felt like because they were traitors, they had this level of power that they didn't have to work as hard, in my opinion. And I really think that's what it boils down to. Y'all were playing checkers, and he been playing chess from the beginning. And Candace, you can't start playing chess in the middle of the checker game. And she just had to play catch up. I agree. Candace did not play a good game. She was only cool with Tara and Johnny. She threw her game away for Lisa. Lisa clearly said in episode 3 she only cared about herself. Yeah. I mean, I just don't think Candace was playing. I just don't think she was playing a good game. I told y'all from the beginning, I felt like she overplayed it from the beginning. Like I said, from that first thing with Portia, I was like, girl. And to be honest, had they not had the distraction of Michael Rappaport for those first 3 episodes, I feel like I don't even feel like it would have taken this long for them to get Lisa or Candace. I just think they were under the radar because Michael Rappaport was so domineering over the game that they stayed distracted. And then you had the Colton part of it too, which is why I wouldn't have got rid of Colton. I would not have gotten rid of Colton. I'm not saying Colton didn't need to go, but Colton put himself in a position where if you killed him, it looked like the traitors were being petty, and it put a 0 in on the whole traitor situation. He was the wrong person. You shouldn't have killed the other guy too that they were thinking about killing. I forget his name, Dylan, because he was a good. That's who I would have put up for sacrifice. Is him. Hold on a second, y'all. Right. Renda definitely would have voted for Candace. If Candace's name had been the one floating around, it would have been, she'd have voted for it. Sure would have. Had Colton stayed, he would have been loud about targeting Candace. I agree he would have been loud about targeting Candace, but I just, at that point, I guess she was in a catch-22. I guess it was a checkmate. Because yes, Colton would have definitely been loud about targeting Candace, but Colton also put other names out there. And that is when Candace should have been campaigning for Dylan. Well, Lisa gave Dylan her gold. Why did Lisa give Dylan her gold? Why did this happen? There's got to be a man in the turret. I mean, those two things is what I would have said all day long. Well, Lisa gave Dylan. Why did Lisa give Dylan? I mean, that seems weird, right? Especially once Dorinda said, well, me and Lisa talked about it, and I thought it was weird that Lisa gave him the money. Baby, I'd have ran that thing till they were sick of hearing it. And the other one about there's got to be a guy. Steven. Is that who I'm thinking about, Steven? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking about last season. Steven, the one from One Tree Hill. Steven. I'm sorry. I keep saying Dylan. I'm sorry. Thank you. But those two things, I'd have been like, there's got to be a guy up there. Like, oh my gosh. Like, we need to focus. And that's what I would have said. If I were Candace, I'd have been like, as soon as breakfast was over, I'd have said, we got to focus on the guys, y'all. We've gotten 3 traitors, and all of them are men. I mean, all of them were women. There's got to be a man up there. I would have even played the feminist. I would have played the non-feminist angle. There's got to be a guy up there running things, right? Like, there's got to be a guy that's running all of this. Like, I mean, look at the women look at who we caught already. We caught Lisa. We caught, Mama Kelsey. It's got to be a guy up there, y'all. So the minute Candace flipped, I'd have been like, me? You think they would pick 2 housewives? Why would they do that? They're not going to pick 2 housewives because they know that we're going to stick together. Why would they pick 2? Like, baby, look at Dorinda. She's still here. I'm still here. Lisa was here. Why would they put 2 of us up there? And how many women have been killed versus men? I would have brought that up too. And then I would have brought up, maybe it's somebody that's done this game show thing before. Maybe it's somebody, because they got rid of all of the gamers. Like, look at the gamers. They got rid of Tiffany. They got rid of, what was the guy, Ian? The first one that they got rid of, who was a gamer? Rod. Baby, listen, I might have had to play from the back, but those, I would have not, baby, when I tell you, they'd have got sick of me. Because I'd have been like, y'all, I don't care what y'all say. It's a guy up there. It is a man up there. It's nowhere in the world that they picked 2 housewives, especially if my name came up. Y'all know they ain't pick another housewife. Come on. That's crazy. Why would they put 2 housewives on there? And why would it be all women? That means it would be, if it's me, that means, because remember, they don't know that they're 4 traitors. They still think that they got Donna Kelsey. They don't know that they're 4 traitors. So I'd have been like, you mean to tell me that it's been me and Lisa all this time? Just us? No. They wouldn't have picked 2 housewives and 3 women. Baby, I would have played that angle all day long. All day long. All day long. So you're right. If I hadn't killed Colton would have probably still been there saying my name. But I just would have had to fight. And I would have tried to put it, I'd have put it back on either, and at this point, nobody's going to believe Colton is a traitor. But I would have put it on Steven, thank you, Steven. And then you can and don't let Rob come out your mouth. Let the other people say, well, what about Rob? I was thinking. I wouldn't have said Rob's name, but somebody would have said it. The more I carped on the male angle, hell, it ain't 3 or 4 men left. Johnny, Steven, Rob, and Colton, if I hadn't killed Colton, and the K-pop guy, right? Aren't they? No, I forgot. The Dancing with the Stars guy. So there are a bunch of guys left. See, that's the other thing I would have said too. Look at all these guys that are still walking around. All these men that are still here. Mark, thank you. I'd have been like, look at all these men. Baby. I hate to admit it, but Rob was right to flip on Lisa and Candace. They were not playing well when it came to whipping up votes. Suspicious. They sucked at defending. Baby, Lisa was horrible at defending herself. Lisa was absolutely horrible when she was like, all she kept saying was, I'm not a traitor. I'm not a traitor. I'm not a traitor. What are you talking? I am a faithful. Like, she had no argument. I'd have voted her ass out too. And then the second time when she was trying to defend herself, all she kept doing was repeating what Colton said. I just think you're the traitor. Well, I think you're the traitor. Well, you know, you did this. Well, you did that. Like, I was like, Lisa, this is terrible. Right. I'm the best faithful. She did a terrible job of defending herself. I'd cut bait after that first showdown. I'd cut bait with Lisa too. And you're right. I'm not mad at Rob at all. I think Rob is playing a hell of a game. Rob deserves to win. I'm sorry. I mean, I know that we team black around here, but sometimes good gameplay is just good gameplay. Rob is playing a hell of a game. Candace let her emotions get her head out of the game. Candace did not play a great social game. Candace hung around the people that she liked or the people that she thought she was going to like, and she did not go out of her way to get to know other people and build relationships with other people. And that's part of the problem too. Nobody else really knows Candace. Right. Lisa deserved to go. I'm sorry. And again, I'd have voted for Lisa the first and the second time, if I'm being honest. Sure would have. What? I gotta go to a staff meeting. Sure. I'm gonna turn my phone off. An in-person staff meeting. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. An in-person staff meeting. When is this? Oh, it's for tomorrow. Okay. From 3:50 to 4. This is stupid. This is stupid. You know, I work at a dumb place. Actually, no, I don't. I work with dumb people. Neither here nor there. School lets out at 3:25. You schedule a meeting for 3:50 in a totally different location from where I work. And it's supposed to be in person because we've been doing Zooms, but it has to be in person. So for those who have never had to do pickup at a school before, whether it's a high school, middle school, or elementary school, anybody in here that's ever had to pick up their kids from school, you already know what's in the way at dismissal. The school bus. Who comes in and out of the parking lot? The school bus. How the fuck am I supposed to get out of the building and in front of the school buses and get where I'm supposed to be in 20 minutes? The buses ain't even done coming through. Just stupid. Just dumb. From my school to where they want me to be at this meeting tomorrow, without traffic, it takes me 15 minutes to get there. And that's if I don't get hit by none of the lights. So you only giving me 20 minutes to get there with traffic and the school buses, right? And cars, people picking their kids up. Y'all, that's why sometimes I be trying to question. That's why when people say that, you know, you work with dumb, it's like, I mean, like, you went to college, though. Like, in order to be a teacher, you have a degree. And some of y'all have multiple degrees. The person that just came up with that idea is a whole PhD. They got a whole doctor in front of their name. And that's what they came up with. You know what my suggestion was? Because the school I'm at right now, we have 2 locations. You know what my suggestion was way back at the beginning of the school year? That, because we have to have a staff meeting once a month. Why not have 2 staff meetings? You have a staff meeting at the main building on, let's say, Tuesday. And on Wednesday, you have that exact same staff meeting at the other building so that everybody has the same opportunity to attend in person. why they insist on wanting to try to do one meeting at multiple locations. We try to do it on Zoom. It doesn't work. It does, but it doesn't. It works because you don't have to worry about people trying to drive around, but it doesn't work if you want to, y'all know don't nobody pay attention to no damn Zoom meeting. People driving home, people in and out, people forget to put their phone on mute. You know what I'm saying? You see people walking their dog and shit. Y'all know how that go. I think Rob knew he was going to cut those two when they first meet. And the third, Candace said she had mentioned her name, but she could fix it. Let me say this. I think Rob studied this game. I think Rob watched probably not just the celebrity seasons, but Rob watched all of the seasons. And you are absolutely correct. I think the minute Rob found out he was a traitor, he knew exactly how he was going to play this game. And he did it. He created an alliance. He played a strong social game. And you're right. It doesn't hurt that he's a good-looking white boy. You're absolutely correct. But I agree. I think Rob had a game plan going into this, whether he was going to be a traitor or a faithful. And once he found out he was a traitor and he found out who the other two were, I think he figured it out. Like I said, Rob has been playing chess the whole time. Lisa and Candace are playing catch-up. He's been playing chess since they got there. Oh, wait a minute. Cheap 83 says Rob's best friend from Love Island won the UK Traitors. I'm sure he taught him how to play. Oh yeah. Yeah. But that's but listen, this is what I don't understand. It makes no sense. That's why when these people come on Housewives and they're like, oh, I've never watched Housewives. What do I always tell y'all? Either they lying or they stupid. Why wouldn't you have watched Housewives? Why would you walk into a show that has 10 seasons, 11 seasons, 8 seasons, 5 seasons? Why would you not watch the show? That is stupid. I'm sorry. I don't all of that. Well, I want to get to know people myself. Stupid. Who's ever gone on a job interview and didn't research the company? Didn't Google the company, find a little information, go to their website. Like, you should do that kind of stuff. If you don't do it, you should do it. I ain't saying you got to memorize the bio, but if somebody calls you to come in for an interview for this particular company, especially when you're like looking for a job and you just sending out applications to everything, baby, that happened to me one time. I was looking for a job, baby, and I applied to it. Baby, I was applying to anything and everything. And somebody called me for an interview. I literally was like, thank you so much. And after I wrote all the information down, where I was going, who I was going to meet up with, the address, the name of the company. Baby, you think I didn't get off that phone and Google? I didn't remember applying for that damn job. I had to go Google the shit. Remember what the job was I even applied for. So when I showed up, I knew what the hell I was talking about. Right, Ravine said I did that once in my 20s, but now, baby, I would never. Exactly, Crystal. Exactly. Everybody should at this point have done some sort of research. In my opinion. Candace said, how do you apply for a job you know nothing about? Listen, at that particular time in my life, baby, I was just applying for anything in education, baby. I was applying, anything and everything in education. I was like, yep, I could do that. Maybe I could do that, child. Anyway, y'all, let me get off of here. I believe El Teddy is going live at his regular time. We will be having a tribe meeting at 6:45. Then we got a lot to talk about. We got some Bad Bunny to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit more about this Glorilla situation and a little bit. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on, okay? We've been gone a long time. Uncle Nearest, I got an Uncle Nearest update. It's not good, but I got an update for Uncle Nearest. So yeah, I'll see you guys at 6:45, okay? Don't forget, if you have not voted yet, please go vote for me. Don't forget the raffle. If you still, I didn't put the link in the chat for the raffle. I'm sorry. If you are still, we're doing the Black History Month raffle. We are still, hold on, put it in the chat. I'll be selling virtual tickets until the day of the raffle, which is the last day of the month, February the 28th. So there's the link. Go to that link, fill the link out, tell me how many tickets you want, and the way to pay me is in the description of the link. You can Cash App me or you can Zelle me. The tickets are $10 a piece. You can get 3 tickets for $20. You can get 10 tickets for $80. The prizes are, the first prize is a Black History Month care package, which will include at least 2 books, a t-shirt, and some other swag, whether a mug or something along those lines. The second prize is a ReallyBTV swag bag, which will include some ReallyBTV swag, t-shirt, cup, that kind of stuff. And then the third prize is a minimum, at least a $25 Visa gift card that we are going to encourage you to use that to support a Black business, preferably a small Black business. Okay? So if you want, there's the link if you want to buy a raffle ticket. And I will see you guys at 6:45. Bye.